إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله الله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله وخير السنن سنن محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أما بعد، فقال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. فقال سبحانه وتعالى في مكان آخر: ولو أن أهل القرى آمنوا واتقوا لفتحنا عليهم بركات من السماء والأرض. صدق الله العظيم. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, topic of my khutbah today is broader concept of taqwa. We have finished, alhamdulillah, month of Ramadan and month of Shawwal and passing through the month of Zulqa'dah. As we are going away from the month of Ramadan, normally it is noticed that people tend to forget the virtues which you have accumulated during the month of Ramadan. About companions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is said that after the month of Ramadan, first 6 months, people used to be very concerned about protecting the virtues which they have accumulated during the month of Ramadan. And in the second 6 months, they were concerned about greeting the month of Ramadan again. That's why also you can see that people make dua 2-3 months ahead of Ramadan. Allahumma barik lana fi Rajabin wa Sha'ban wa ballighna Ramadan. So we have to be concerned to protect the virtues we have attained during the month of Ramadan. And one of the things we learn during the month of Ramadan is Taqwa, which is God consciousness. And God consciousness is a very broader concept, which always we should remember. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whenever he used to stand up for an admonition, one of the things he always used to mention is taqwa. That's why in every admonition, particularly during nikah sermon, he used to recite 3 verses of Quran. One is from Surah Al Imran, which I recited also during the beginning of my khutbah, which is always recited in khutbah. And another one is from Surah An-Nisa, chapter number 4 and verse number 1. And another one is from Surah Al-Ahzab and verse number 70 and 71. All talks about taqwa multiple times. This was a practice of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he used to admonish with taqwa every time when he stand up for admonition. That's why you can see that we always have to remember taqwa. And when we think about our life, we normally divide our life into religious life and worldly life. But in Islam, there is no such thing as religious life and worldly life. In Islam, there is no religious activity or religious affair where there is no or zero worldly activity. For example, people are going to Hajj nowadays, and activity for Hajj pilgrimage has started. It is purely considered as a religious affair. But without a worldly affair, means you have to get visa, you have to pay money, you have to have your own halal income, and you have to have sources. Without that, you cannot go to Hajj. So there is no religious activity where there is no worldly affair at all. Also, there is no worldly affair in Islam where there is no religious concern in it. For example, earning for livelihood is usually concerned as worldly activity, but it is not worldly activity. Working for halal is a great thing which Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has admonished for you. And also when you work for halal income, you have to care for halal and haram. You have to care for what is permitted and what is prohibited. This is all again it's part of religion. So there is no worldly affair in Islam where there is no religious affairs. And there is no religious affair in Islam where there is no worldly activity. So everything is combined together and life is one life. So in every aspect of your life, whether you are inside the masjid, whether you are outside the masjid, whether you are in family, or whether you are doing something for your livelihood, in everything you have to follow taqwa, and this is the explanation of taqwa. Among the explanation of taqwa, there is one beautiful explanation by a companion of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, called Ubay bin Ka'ab radiyallahu ta'ala. When he was asked, what is taqwa? He said, taqwa is like passing through in between the thorny bushes. When you are passing through the thorny bushes, what happens? You protect yourself and you walk very carefully and you protect your clothes so that it will not be, caught in thorns. So this is what is taqwa all about. So in life, every time living life with all care, with all consciousness, with all concern, and to make sure that we are doing everything halal and refraining from haram, and living the whole life like that is called taqwa, and this is what is very important. And you can see that taqwa is related to so many things. For example, understanding Quran also needs taqwa. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala says, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. This is a book where there is no doubt. And this is a guidance for those who have taqwa. For understanding Quran also you need taqwa. And after the month of Ramadan, we have a lot of attachment towards the Quran. A criterion that you have a taqwa within you is that you have a continued relationship with Quran. You read Quran, you try to understand Quran, try to memorize Quran, try to apply what you learn to your personal life, try to apply it to the social life, and think that Quran is my constitution. So then it is a proof that you have taqwa. So we have to have a continued relationship with Quran, because for hidayah also taqwa is required. And usually people think that month of Ramadan is a month of Quran, and Eid al-Fitr is related to Quran. Also some scholars say that Eid al-Adha, which is coming very soon, is also related to Quran, because the last verses revealed on Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was on his Hajjatul Wida, last Hajj, when he was in Arafat. The last verses were revealed which says, Al-yawma akmaltu lakum deenakum wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati wa raditu lakum al-Islam deena. Today we have completed your religion and completed our blessings, and we have chosen Islam as a deen for you. This is the last verse, which means Quran is completed and last verse also revealed, and a beautiful Islamic society is established. That means you can see the blessings of Islam. So this is the last verse of Quran, and next day is Eid al-Adha, Dhul Hajj 10th. So that's why both festival is related to Quran. So we should have in Islam, you can see that both festival also there is a connection is built for the two Eids of Islam. That shows that we always should have connection with Quran, and that is also part of taqwa. Taqwa is related to attitude as well. Prophet Muhammad, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala says in Quran, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَغُضُّونَ أَصْوَاتَهُمْ عِنْدَ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ امْتَحَنَ اللَّهُ قُلُوبَهُمْ لِلتَّقْوَى. Those who are lowering the voice in front of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they are the people whom Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has tested their heart for taqwa. So those who are lowering their voice in front of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with respect, they are the people muttaqi. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala says in Quran. That shows that giving respect to Prophet, giving respect to elders while you are talking in a nice manner is also related to taqwa. and lowering the voice. For example, voice conveys so many things. For example, if you are calling somebody and someone picks up telephone from the other side and he says hello, and there will be some discussion on telephone. After the discussion, you will be able to understand what kind of person is that. He's an educated person or uneducated person. He's a polite person or he's an aggressive or arrogant person. And sometimes you may understand the nationality also. Living in Gulf country, everybody has their own particular tone, every nationals. So you can understand which nationality he belongs to. And so many things you can understand by telephone without seeing him. But when you see a person, how he is talking, you can understand more. So that is also attitude. Talking to somebody in a nice manner is also attitude. And Allah Ta'ala says that when somebody lowers voice in front of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that is a sign of taqwa, and Allah Ta'ala has tested them for taqwa. This shows that the attitude is also important. If you have a taqwa in your heart, it should show in your attitude as well, not only in your exterior looks. Normally people have a very confined understanding about taqwa. People try to understand taqwa by beard, by exterior looks, by so many things. And it may be definitely part of taqwa, but it's not only the part of taqwa, because what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said is, at-taqwa hahuna. He said taqwa is here in heart. He was showing the heart. So his taqwa is related to your heart and your mind, your emotions, your thinking, your attitude, how you live, and how is your thought process, all related to taqwa. So taqwa is something very broader. So in Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah number 177, Allah Ta'ala explains various requisites of taqwa. He says, لَيْسَ الْبِرَّ أَن تُوَلُّوا وُجُوهَكُمْ قِبَلَ الْمَشْرِقِ وَالْمَغْرِبِ. It is not virtue that you are turning your face towards east or west. Here turning your face east and west means external rituals, because Muslims used to turn their face two different directions during prayer. One is before Qibla is converted or Qibla is changed towards Ka'batullah. Before that, Muslims used to pray towards Baitul Maqdis. Then the revelation came and they changed their face. And it is the same prayer. Wherever you direct and wherever you turn, it is prayer which Allah Ta'ala accepts. You have the same value for that prayer. So what Allah Ta'ala says here, that it is all your external activity, exterior looks. So this is all not only part of virtue or part of taqwa, but walakin al-bir, the virtue or the taqwa is man amana billahi wal yawmil akhiri wal malaikati wal kitabi wal nabiyyin. The first requisite of taqwa is belief. Belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, belief in the day of judgment, belief in angels, and belief in books, and belief in prophets. These are the 6 pillars of faith, which is necessary, and it has its own requisite. Believe in Allah means not just believing that Allah is only one. And you may be wondered that even many non-Muslims have this belief that Allah is only one, and it is there in their book. For example, among the Hindu scriptures, if you read, there is a verse called Natasya Pratimasti. God is only one and there is no images of God. Ekam Sadvipra Bahuda Vadanti, and so many other verses by which many Hindus believe that God is only one. And Christians, in Bible there are so many verses of Tawheed even today. For example, in Exodus says, God is only one and God never tolerate rivals. This is a verse in Bible. And many Christians today strongly believe that God is only one. And many Jews believe that God is only one. So just believing that God is only one is not enough to become a muttaqi. To become a muttaqi, that your life should be changed according to this belief. And there should be implications in your life according to this belief. When you believe in akhirah, there should be implications that you should see the result in your life, that your priority should be akhirah. When it comes to select between deen and dunya, normally the weakness of human being is that tuhibbun al-ajila wa tazarun al-akhirah. Human beings usually love what comes immediately. For example, from haram, if you want to get some more money, it comes immediately. And sometimes they go for it and abandon the akhirah because akhirat is coming later on after my death. Let it come later on, I'll see later. And now I have to care for what I am getting right now. This is a human weakness. But believing in akhirah means you always care for akhirah. That should become your priority. So every belief, it should have implications. So that is taqwa, that you are believing and you have your implications of your belief, implications of that belief in your life. That is what is called taqwa. And again Allah Ta'ala says, وَآتَ الْمَالَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ, and you are spending your money for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the money which is very dear to you, ذَوِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْمَسَاكِينِ وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ وَالسَّائِلِينَ وَفِي الرِّقَابِ. There are many categories mentioned that you spend among your relatives, spend among poor, spend among wayfarers, spend among needy, and spend for the emancipation of slaves or to protect somebody from debts. So spending money is also taqwa. Taqwa is not only praying. Taqwa is how you are earning your money, also how much you are concerned about the problems of the society, problems of human beings, problems of people around you, your relatives and the poor people and the needy. So if you are concerned and if you are spending money, that is also part of taqwa. And وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ, and establishing prayer and establishing and giving charity is also part of taqwa and part of virtues. And his aqama salat means not just praying. Especially we can understand that when people live, Muslim societies are living in Western countries. In Western countries, what is necessary is that they want a masjid and they want to develop a community. Otherwise, the existence of the Muslim community and protection of the culture of Islam is not very easy. So aqama salam is not just praying. Establishing prayer means establishing masjid, establishing a Muslim community, make arrangement. Zakat is also in a similar way. Spending zakat and protecting the needs of the Muslim community. So caring for the needs of the Muslim, aqama salat wa atu zakat means, broader meaning is caring for the needs of the Muslim community. So that's also part of the virtue. وَالْمُوفُونَ بِأَحْدِهِمْ إِذَا آهَدُوا. When you make covenant with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or with human beings, then you have to fulfill it. Covenant means, we usually say that once the contract is drafted, then signed, then it becomes a covenant. It's not like that. For a Muslim, the covenant is when you talk. When you say that I will do it, that means covenant, because you said it and Allah Ta'ala has witnessed it, and people, the malaika, angels has written it, that you said it. That becomes a covenant, you have to fulfill it. Signing the contract is something worldly thing, you have to fulfill it anyway, it's a legal necessity. But even if there is no legal things, during the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abdurrahman bin Auf, for example, radiyallahu ta'ala, he came without anything to Medina. He was a businessman in Mecca. He left everything because Allah Ta'ala has ordered for migration and Prophet Muhammad advised for migration. He left everything and came to Medina. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has made an agreement, mawakha, the brotherly relationship or brotherhood with Sa'ad bin Rabi radiyallahu ta'ala, another great person, another great businessman. He said, you are a businessman, so take half of my business, take everything, take all know-how from myself and develop your business. He said, no, I just want to live with you. I need your protection here. I want to go to market. Show me the market. And after some time, Abdurrahman bin Auf radiyallahu ta'ala anhu became a rich businessman. How? Because of his words. And people believed in him. He said, when you say, I will pay this day, it is Abdurrahman bin Auf, give him whatever you want. Because he fulfilled his covenants. That's how he got loan and he got goods to sell. Then he repaid the money. That's how he became a rich person. So fulfilling the covenant and following whatever you said is also part of taqwa, and this is also very much necessary. وَالصَّابِرِينَ فِي الْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ وَحِينَ الْبَأْسِ, and remaining steadfast and remaining with patience in difficult situations, during torments and during war-like situations. When there is a war-like situation between truth and falsehood, staying steadfast, not making compromises, And being, satisfied with whatever you can do, being as a good Muslim, is also part of taqwa. أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُتَّقُونَ. These are the people who are truthful, and these are the people who are real muttaqeen, are real people who are God conscious. You can see how broader is taqwa. Taqwa is not confined to only exterior looks. It has a very, very broad concept, and we have to adopt it. And during a time, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was giving a sermon, and so many people were sitting there. And one person said, I have to take care of something, I will leave now. He took permission and he left. He was an ordinary person. Who was that person? We don't know. But Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this person, if you want to, anybody want to see a person who is a person of paradise, then you have to see, this is the person of Jannah. And he left. And who is that person? Nobody knows. Because he was not a prominent, he was an ordinary Sahabi. Abdullah bin Umar radiyallahu ta'ala, son of Umar radiyallahu ta'ala, he was also sitting there. He was very curious. He said, that person is a person of Jannah, then I should become like him. I should learn something from him. So he went in search of him. Finally he found his house. He said, I want to stay with you for a while. He said, well, come, stay with me. Because usually it's an Islamic tradition that if somebody asks for shelter, you can give them shelter for 3 days if you have an arrangement. So Abdullah bin Umar radiyallahu ta'ala went and stayed 3 days with him, just to learn how this person is a man of Jannah. So I should become like him. He was curious. See the curiousness of people. People were concerned about Jannah. That shows his priority is akhirah, not dunya. So he stayed with him. And he was observing this gentleman, that Sahabi, that what's special in him. During night he was trying to wake up, and he was seeing whether he is getting up for tahajjud. But he did not get up for tahajjud. He was like any other Muslim, 5 times prayer. And everything was like any other normal Muslim, did not see anything extraordinary. And finally after 3 days, he said, I just came to learn from you that Prophet Muhammad said that you are a person of Jannah. What's special in you? But I did not find anything special in you, just like any other person. And what makes you so special? He said, see, I am just like any other person. But one thing I care for is, I don't have any ill feeling towards any believers. And this is one of the supplication we make. رَبَّنَا غْفِرْ لَنَا وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَا بِالْإِيمَانِ وَلَا تَجْعَلْ فِي قُلُوبِنَا غِلًّا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala forgive us and forgive people who preceded us in faith, and do not keep any ill feeling towards anybody in my heart. And this is a supplication we make. And this gentleman was following that. For example, this shows that taqwa means you pray a lot, you go to Masjid a lot, you pay charity a lot, but you are carrying a burden of ill feelings towards others. You are making a lot of backbiting. That means you are not following taqwa. So taqwa is so, concerned about taqwa. And taqwa, you can understand how broader is taqwa. Not having any ill feeling towards any believers is also part of taqwa. And once Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Atadri manil muflis? Do you know who is the poorest person? And Sahaba, companions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah al-muflisu fina man la dirham lahu wala dinaran wala mata. And they said, among the poorest person among us is one who doesn't have any dinar or any assets with him. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, no. He said, the muflis is one ya'ti bi yawm al-qiyamati bis salati was zakati was sadaqat. And the poorest person is the one who is coming during the day of judgment, presenting himself with lot of prayers, lot of fasting, lot of zakat, lot of charity, and lot of things. But meanwhile, he has hurt somebody, he has beaten somebody, he has not given the rights of somebody, and he has deceived somebody, he has taken the assets of somebody. So with all these things, he presents himself during the day of judgment. The currency there is not dinar, not wasta. The only wasta is your good deeds. So what happens is that his good deeds is given to the person whom he has hurt, and the bad deeds are given to him. So like that, all his good deeds are over and only bad deeds are left. But originally he comes with salat, with zakat, with all many good deeds. But finally he is deprived of all good deeds and only bad deeds of others is kept in his mizan. So he will become a man of Jahannam. So he is the poorest person. So this shows that how, taqwa is not just praying, taqwa is not that salat, but taqwa is living a conscious and God-conscious life throughout life. That is what is taqwa. May Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala give us tawfiq to understand this broader concept of taqwa and to fulfill it throughout our life. Barakallahu lana wa lakum wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bi ayatihi wa dhikril hakim. Innahu ta'ala jawadun kareemun malikun barur ra'ufur rahim wa rabbun halim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala rasulihil ameen wa ala alihi wa ashabihi at-tahirin amma ba'd. Faqala Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fil Qur'an al-Majid wal Furqan al-Hamid. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala an-nabi ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammadin bi adadi man salla wa sam. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد بعدد من قعد وقام. اللهم صل على جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى سائر الصحابة والتابعين وخلفاء الراشدين رضوان الله تعالى عليهم أجمعين. اللهم أيد الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم انصر من نصر دين محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ولا تجعلنا منهم. اللهم اخذل من خذل دين محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ولا تجعلنا منهم. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم اجعل هذا البلد آمنا مطمئنا رخاء سخاء وسائر بلاد المسلمين. عباد الله رحمكم الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. وذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم ولذكر الله أكبر وأقم الصلاة.